In 1822, a U.S. Army captain petitioned Congress to fund an expedition to find a hole at the North Pole that would lead to people living inside the Earth, and a Harvard-educated president supported him. This actually happened. President John Quincy Adams was convinced by a man named John Cleves Symmes Jr. that the Earth was hollow, that one could go inside the planet through holes at the poles, and that people are living inside. Allegedly, Adams was so taken with this idea that he championed a federal expedition to Antarctica to explore the inner Earth, only to be stymied by losing the election of 1828. Now, Adams may or may not have actually believed this theory. Some say he just loved exploring and wanted them to go to the pole. I want to point out that Adams wasn't a dodo. He graduated from Harvard in 1787 and got his master's from Harvard in 1790. So then who was this John Cleves Symmes Jr. fellow? And what spell did he cast on the President of the United States to give him money to trade with the mole people? Well, Captain John Cleves Symmes Jr. was born November 5th, 1780. He was an American Army officer, trader, and lecturer, best known for his 1818 variant of the Hollow Earth theory. His uncle was John Cleves Symmes, a delegate to the Continental Congress, a colonial in the Revolutionary War, Chief Justice of New Jersey, and father-in-law of U.S. President William Henry Harrison. So he couldn't be a dodo, right? We don't know about his education. It just says he received a good common English education. Oh. So, maybe a dodo? We don't know yet. He got a commission as an ensign in the U.S. Army in 1802 with his uncle's help, and made captain by 1813. That's 11 years. Is that good, or was he slow? I asked AI, and it said, a rise to captain in 11 years is not slow, not embarrassing, and not a sign of being stupid. It is entirely consistent with a competent, average soldier to officer career. So he's got that going for him. In 1808, Symmes married Mary Ann Lockwood, a widow with 6 children, all of whom he raised alongside his own 4 kids he had with her, equaling 10 kids total. Now we're starting to see why John here wanted to jump into a hole and trade with the mole people. He wanted to go away from those kids! He had an Army career and was honorably discharged in 1815. He moved to St. Louis and became a trader, but that didn't work out. By 1818, he started pushing his theory of the hollow earth, while his sister was married to William Henry Harrison and became First Lady of the United States. I bet Dad was proud. And now his son's going to run around and tell people the earth is hollow. So this Symmes character was a soldier, a captain, a trader, with 10 kids who spoke Spanish and French. And now he's going to tell us the earth is hollow. And no, there are no reports of a head injury happening to him before he made these statements. And from his record, he can't be a complete dodo. So what the heck? I can only speak one language and some swear words in Spanish. So, wow. So the theory goes, on April 10th, 1818, Symmes sent out a circular declaring, I declare the earth is hollow and habitable within, containing a number of solid concentric spheres, one within the other, and that it is open at the poles 12 or 16 degrees. I pledge my life in support of this truth, and I'm ready to explore the hollow, if the world will support and aid me in the undertaking. He dedicated it to his wife and their 10 children. Maybe this was a secret cry for help. Please support me. I have 10 kids and need to get away. Send me to a hole at the top of the world. Heck, I don't care if there's anything there or not. Now let's see why you would think such a thing. Symmes believed that the laws of nature favor layered formation. He argued the earth is like an onion. It has a crust, inner crusts, and a central warm interior sun. He also used analogies from seeds, eggs, trees, and the planetary rings of Saturn. He thought nature repeated the same structure at all scales. Shrek, ogres are like onions. He also believed that the poles must be openings. He claimed centrifugal force caused flattening at the poles, which would crack open into vast circular holes thousands of miles wide, about 4,000 miles in diameter. These openings allowed air and light to flow into the interior world. 2 4,000-mile holes? I mean, nobody seems to be able to go to Antarctica, so who knows? He also believed auroras came from the inner world. The aurora borealis and aurora australis were light escaping from the interior sun, shining through polar openings like a lamp through a chimney. This was his physical proof that something luminous existed inside the earth. Also, there are unusual warm currents near the Arctic, and that proved an internal heat source. Warm ocean currents, drifting logs and vegetation found near the Arctic, and animals migrating toward the poles were evidence that a warmer interior world vented through the poles. Like a nice, peaceful beach. Seriously, I still think he's just thinking vacation. The Earth must be hollow, based on gravity, he reasoned. The Earth was too light for its observed volume, therefore it must have internal cavities. Let's get serious here. How does he know the Earth is too light for its observed volume? So this guy is sitting around a wooden table by candlelight predicting the way to the universe with 10 screaming kids running around the house. Yeah, I think I would study also. Mary! Shut those kids up! I'm trying to work on the hollow earth, for Christ's sakes! You think it's easy to tell how heavy the earth is with all this racket? Can't wait till I can go into the hole in the earth and find some peace, jeez. He predicted that meteorites and comets were hollow bodies. Symmes believed meteors sounded hollow and exploding. How many meteors had this guy heard explode? I don't even know if we even have video of someone watching a meteor explode to tell us what it sounds like. Quieter than these frickin' kids. Mary! He also believed unexplored regions equaled evidence. No one's gone to the poles. Therefore, no one can say they are not open. Well, if we don't know, then, well, it could be right? Sure, Symmes. I mean, why not? A hollow earth was necessary for colonization, he thought. He truly wanted expeditions, government funding, and colonization of the inner world, and he petitioned Congress many times. Okay, Symmes, simmer down. The earth doesn't have to be hollow for colonization. I mean, there's always Mars, but then again, maybe it doesn't weigh enough either. So, this is what actually happened. In 1822, Symmes petitioned the U.S. House of Representatives not to trade with the mole people, but to fund a government expedition to the North Polar opening. It went to the Committee on Foreign Relations, but did not get approved. What he actually wanted, funding for a polar expedition to sail north, enter the supposed polar aperture, and explore the habitable inner world with land, resources, new geography, and possibly unknown peoples. But not mole people, not trade. His goal was discovery, scientific proof, and national prestige. Why do people joke about mole people? Later writers and satirists mocked Symmes' hollow earth belief by imagining underground races, but Symmes himself never described mole people or anything like that. Now I should point out, this research was compiled after Symmes' death by a guy named James McBride. He was Butler County, Ohio's first mayor, an archaeologist, and Ohio's leading pioneer author. He attended Miami University, so again, not a dodo. He took up the torch and also petitioned the government for funds, but also to no avail. It's like a mind virus, this big hole hollow earth theory. I was taken back by the possible intelligence of the characters involved. But it wasn't just these three people who thought this was possible. So while there's no information from Symmes about mole people, there are myths and legends about subterranean human-like races from antiquity. Wait, what? Some sources describe mythological races of hunchback, bipedal creatures with scaly skin, light-sensitive eyes, and large clawed hands, excellent at digging. These beings supposedly move well underground and have a diet of large mushrooms and animal flesh. And here's where it gets interesting. Maybe Symmes wasn't a kook, because there are similar stories about people living or coming up from underground that appear in 5 different Native American tribes' origination stories. Also, European folklore has dwarves and gnomes, Shambhala in Tibetan lore, the Trobriand Islands origination story, and many others. And all these tales include a great flood. So why would all of these people tell a tale of others coming from or living in the earth, and also telling the tale of the great flood? Why lie about one and have the other be true? There are 15 religions, including Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hindu, even Norse mythology, that include a great flood in their stories. Smart, educated people believe Symmes' hollow earth, and similar ideas show up across completely separate cultures throughout history. Why? That's what we'll be exploring in this series. Next episode, 5 Native American tribes that tell the same story about emerging from the earth. The map of this rabbit hole is just beginning, and I have so many questions. No sponsors, no ads. But if you enjoyed the dive today, or you want to help power the expedition, since the government will probably decline my application, grab the OG Mole People shirt, or declare yourself not a dodo. Store link below. Till next time, thank you for joining us on this journey.